Mind philosophy discusses the insights from some of the greatest thinkers over time. It will also demonstrate how their wisdom can be applied against the complexities and challenges we face in modern society. It's how philosophy can be used as a vehicle to produce a better version of who we are and how we interact within ourselves and each other. Do you ever wonder how fragile life is? Even when we come face to face with our own uncertainties and fears, or when we become inspired for the gracious acts of another. We seem to, though, develop a short-term memory, as we are easily taken back into the rapid tide of daily life. There is, though, one thing that will halt this tirade of thought, something that could change our lives forever, and that is tragedy. We will learn from modern-day English philosopher Simon Critchley as he explores through the dramatic themes of ancient Greek mythology and how this still applies for us today, to how we deal with our own traumas and tragedy. How tragedy forces us to come to terms not just with what happens around us, but what we realise within ourselves. As we wander into the writings of the ancient Greek world, a common theme is how little everyone knew of the world and how little will ever be known. It was Aristotle who described tragedy as a limitation of action. And while we know so much more than Aristotle's time, we still wrestle with the uncertainties we face. Greek drama and poetry is known for its passion. As when tragedy is experienced, it exposes our suffering and the emotions that undertake us as a result. Tragedy is when we know the truth, a truth that we may realise beyond what we can see and hear, yet a truth we refuse to acknowledge that one day may turn against us. Such was the case of ancient playwright Sophocles and his creation of the Greek legend Oedipus. Oedipus was informed by an oracle of his future bad deeds, who then scoffed at such advice and carried out each of these acts completely oblivious to them. It was inevitably his blindness of the truth that led him to gouge out his own eyes in shame. Tragedy seems to exist when we conduct ourselves in rage, where we become continually consumed with defending and justifying ourselves. As where there is rage, there is war, cognizant of the time of ancient Greece. And in war, there is also the hero. Yet, in ancient Greece, the hero is not the one who only restores peace, but also the one who disturbs it. A figure who has power and passion into an emotional cascade, yet does not know how to control it. Where we become vulnerable to deception, yet the wisest were those who already have been deceived. As when there is a world where a saviour is also our sinner, there can be nothing else but savagery. For where justice is sought, it is met through the theatre of war and through the theatre of law. As it was for the ancient Greeks to showcase conflict as a spectacle, nothing has changed in the society of today. For we question what justice is when one wrongdoing replicates another. As tragedy is formed through a never-ending cycle of revenge, where violence is never at its end, for as long as it's justified through the whim of another's words. Ancient playwright Aeschylus explains how our tragedy and trauma is formed from an ongoing cycle of restoring our pride with revenge and the suffering it causes. Put simply, the wheel turns. If we think about what is tragic, we tend to overtly think of the things we see and hear. The prematureness of death, the lethargy of luck, when unbeknown we fall to fate. Yet, if we consider covertly, what is tragic is the cult of contradiction within all of us, when we fall to the folly of the double standards of others, when we lack authenticity, intentionally deceiving others. Tragedy is a voice that is within all of us. It is the emotions we hold that is felt from our passions within. When we are confused and too scared to scream out, and when we scream, our voices are not heard. Tragedy is in the voices of the virtuous and the vocals of the vice. It was the dramatic tragedy of the ancient Greeks, who not only exposed us into a world of disorder, but asks us to also embrace it. Advice we can take into today. It is saturated in the souls of ones who seek justice, sown in the screams for those who seek revenge. There are saints and sinners among us all. For as long as we have desires in life, there will always be trauma and tragedy. Yet, as only through our heartbreak, then can hither our highest hope. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button and subscribe to the Mind Philosophy channel. And leave your comments and tell me the videos that you want to see. A new video is uploaded every Wednesday, so I'll see you again on our next journey.